It's 1982 and you feel like going out. You hop in your car and head down to Wild Bill's off Union Avenue in Bakersfield, California, home of the greatest country music that ever was. At Wild Bill's, they have all 3 45s of Sonny Anglin in the jukebox. You walk inside and put a quarter in the jukebox and pick your favorite song. Time to shoot some pool.
There's a pool game away at the end of my run. I'm a truck driving, pool shooting, son of a gun.
You're listening to the San Joaquin Sound podcast, the podcast about music in Bakersfield and the surrounding valley. For this episode, I interviewed local country music legend Sonny Anglin. He's been a mainstay in the Bakersfield country scene for over 50 years. At age 87, he still sings multiple nights a week around town. He's played all the classic spots, like the Blackboard, Texas Barrel House, and Trouts. He's recorded multiple songs, toured the country, and even headlined a show at the Sahara in Las Vegas. Let's talk about growing up in Bakersfield. You were born and raised here, right?
Yeah, my folks come here from Oklahoma, and they's living up on the side of the road about an early mart on 99 Highway, sleeping out, and my mama had the pains with me. They brought me to Kern General. May the 21st, 1938. I've been around for a couple of weeks here in the county.
So growing up, your parents were Benjamin and Gertrude, right?
Yeah.
What type of music did they listen to?
Country. My dad was a very avid Cousin Herb Henson and Trading Post gang. We didn't turn the channel during the day because when the Cousin Herb and Trading Post come on, if there's no Red Rider or what, you had to watch the Trading Post. that was his rules. Don't turn the channel.
And if you haven't heard of Cousin Herb's Trading Post, that was a huge country TV show that had a lot of country stars on.
From 53 to 63.
Yeah.
He brought them all in here. He had wrestlers on, singers, and name it, Cousin Herb was the man.
That really influenced your taste, huh? Because your dad loved country music?
Well, my most avid fan was my mama. She'd get me up and singing in church, and she put me in drama classes at Mountain View School. When in 7th, 8th grade, she made sure I got there. She had a car she could drive, and they'd take me to rehearsals and what. And so actually, she got me ready for the stage when I was a kid.
That's
now, knowing
awesome.
Someday I was going to be doing this,
Were there musicians in Bakersfield that you looked up to as well?
Well, I probably looked up to my dad's brothers, my Uncle John and Uncle Fred. When they'd come to our house, they was both pickers. They played guitar and fiddle and what have you. And, so they would do all the entertaining.
Wow.
And instead of playing hide-and-go-seek with my cousins, I'd say, hey, I'm not playing on hide-and-go-seek. I'm going to listen to the music. So I'd get around the edge of the house and I'd watch them. I had one uncle that wanted us to listen to the other one. He wanted the kids to go play. But my Uncle Fred was always said, and I'd let them listen to it. They might be pickers too. And so I kind of catered to my Uncle Freddie.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So did you start playing the guitar?
About 15, I started Mickey Mousing with it,
Yeah.
And I said about 15 I started strumming.
Do you remember what type of guitar you had?
I had an old Epiphone when I first started playing. I'd say down in the Hawaiian Guards area when I started out, a lady loaned me an old Epiphone.
So it was a hollow body one?
Yeah.
With the F-holes?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that was my first instrument. Was lent to me from a lady from Weed Patch area that I knew in Hawaiian Gardens, and so she let me have a guitar to play.
That's great.
Musicians Dale Bennett. I don't know if you heard of Dale Bennett.
No, I'm not sure.
He was quite a guy in Los Angeles area. He is in Oklahoma City now. Dale Bennett would call me up and get me up to sing there at the old Red Barrel in the day. And that's where they all came. You know, I seen Johnny Cash on Butcher Paper in front of the Red Barrel.
Wow.
You know, coming soon. And all of them came to the Red Barrel. But the guy that I grew up on, I loved to hear him sing and watch him. He'd cup his ear, and that was Win Sturt. He was my first star that I really idolized. I'd say was Win.
Do you remember the first time you sang at a concert, like a country concert somewhere?
Oh, Lord have mercy. To do a concert, I'd say after I cut my first record, Mrs. Olsen.
Okay, for Fabor, right?
Yeah, Fabor Records. And
1972.
and I went to KMOR in Murray, Utah. Took me to number 1 on their station.
Wow.
And I flew up there and done a show out that was up there on the wall. That was my first big gig, I'd say. Was when
Saratoga?
Saratoga Springs, out of Salt Lake City.
Wow.
And that was my first big gig, I'd say.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So talk to me about recording that 45. It had Mrs. Olsen on the A side, Today's Tomorrow, Yesterday on the B side. Where'd you record it at?
I recorded those in Los Angeles with Ed McNeely, old boy from Utah. He was with Gene Autry. He left Gene's label to produce me. I'd say he gave me my first big break.
That's awesome.
When Fabor signed me, I wanted to get myself out there. Today's Tomorrow's Yesterday is a song later on, years later here in Bakersfield, that got me into the Bakersfield Sound, was Today's Tomorrow's Yesterday.
When I was researching, I was looking in the archives of Billboard magazine, and I found an ad for Mrs. Olsen with your face on it right here at the bottom. I'll hand it to you.
Oh, Lord, boy, that brings back some memories. This was out of Billboard, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were advertising your record in a lot of magazines, and Billboard was one. You got reviewed in Billboard, too.
Yeah, right below Dolly and Porter Wagner. Boy, if I ain't lucky. I hadn't seen this in a long time. Growing up, I said in that area down there, is what got me involved in getting started into to the arts. Was the Red Barrel. And go to Evelyn's Panama Room in Long Beach. I'd go over there and sing with some of them people. And then I'd go down to the Hollywood on the Pike, which was about a few blocks down. That's when the Pike was going in them days. But they had a club down at Hollywood on the Pike. It was a club. And you had to go up the back staircase. Behind the bar was stage. And I'd go over there to Cindy Carson. She'd get me up and sing some songs. And as it goes, when you're coming up, boy, you have people that really help you along the trail.
That's great.
Yeah. They had a place there called the Clown out on Nile Street, East Bakersfield. They wore up 5 records on that jukebox over there on Miss Olsen. So they played that thing off the wall out there. That's before I had really much recognition at all. So that was the beginning of it all. I'd say it was Mrs. Olsen.
That's cool.
But after I'd done Mrs. Olsen, everybody thought I had a hit in the Hawaiian Gardens area. I'd go in them clubs and they said, "Hey, Sonny's here."
That's awesome. I also read in 1972 you went all the way to Arkansas to the Anglin Mooney Williams family reunion.
I sure did.
And you saw some other Anglins that play music too, the Anglin brothers or something like that, right?
Well, Jim and Jack Anglin, they were writers in Nashville. They was Tennessee Anglins, my dad's kinfolk. My dad was cousins to, you ever had Ralph Mooney?
Yeah.
Wrote Crazy Arms and all?
Yeah.
He was a
Pedal
steel
steel
player for Waylon for years. Well, we was related.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
I was related to
He played with Merle for a bit too, right?
Ralph Mooney. Sure did. He played with a bunch of them. He's probably the inventor of the pedal steel.
He was great. That's cool. What other places did you tour to?
All of them days, really, so many of them I can't remember. There's so many bandstands. My later stuff, was here in Bakersfield.
I found this ad in the Bakersfield Californian, and it says, Terry's Highland Inn, one night only. Sonny Anglin and the Golden State Playboys. So you must have been with a band then, huh?
Oh, yeah. Leon Womack, Warren Purcell. I toured with my first job on the road was with Warren Purcell. He played for Wayne Stewart.
Cool.
And he wrote a song, Hands on the Clock, in the A-side. And I went on tour with Warren. We went all the way to Virginia, Minnesota, and through Colorado, Dakotas. Played a lot of honky-tonk stuff. Probably the toughest gig I ever had was in a club in the stockyards there at Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and them cowboys wanted to fight all night. I don't know, my singing was bad. What made them to sing, fight, but on the break, they'd make up. And these guys, I'm talking about fist fighting. And I was back in the corner thinking, am I going to get out here alive or not? I had some gigs that I wondered about, but that's part of doing your apprenticeship.
Yeah. Paying your dues.
Paying your dues. You said it right there. It's the main word, paying dues. That's what it's all about until you get to a certain level. I guess I reached that one here in Bakersfield due to people that love me. I know the night that I went up and got my put into the Bakersfield Sound at Buck Owens' Crystal Palace, when they put me in, and it was tomorrow's yesterday, got me into the Sound.
That's cool.
Ain't that trip? Yeah.
And you helped write that song, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're you and Jerry Osborne.
Me and Jerry Osborne, a buddy of mine from Music Mill, Kentucky. When Jerry Reed passed, Jerry Osborne was playing bass for him.
Wow.
My first check I got from BMI, I still got it. I never did cash it. I think it's about $7 or something.
That's cool, though.
I still got it, yeah.
So did you play at some of the honky-tonks in town, like the Blackboard?
I played them all.
What was your favorite one to play at?
My favorite one, I'd say, was probably when I got up at the Blackboard the first time.
How was that?
When Ted Forrest called me up out of the audience and scared to death. Man, I got up there and laid some songs down. I don't even remember what I sung, but had a good reception from the crowd and shook all the way back to my seat. Scared to death. Certain things back in them days bothered me. I've overcome it since. I've been doing stage stuff for the last 40 years without anything but root beer, and made a whole lot better decisions than I did when I was on Jack Daniels. Yeah, old Jack lost out. And, the alcohol ain't the best thing for a man when you can't control it. It's all right. Nothing wrong with drink because I'm still around it now. I go out to Ethel's and here or yonder in town and Rustic Rail and get up. I wish work to deal with Norman over here at his 92nd birthday.
Yeah, I was there. That was a great.
That's where
that's
where I run into you again. Yeah, I was over there. Yeah, what memories I have with Norman Hamlet. He was such a nice guy when he was with Merle. When Merle would come to New Orleans, my sister was in the show business, and she had a CNS talent out of New Orleans, and my oldest sister. And every time that they'd come to town, Norman would call her up and tell her, come over here and get some tickets. We're coming into town, won't you? And he would always Merle would give tickets to my sister. So they come to the show and it was good memories with Norman, yeah. So
you're in Bakersfield in the 70s, playing the honky-tonks, doing some touring, and then let's talk about your next record that comes out.
So I had Let Her Dance
Oh, actually, yeah.
I had Letter Dance. Buddy Mize had a label, and Buddy Mize, the writer.
Was he related to the other Mize?
Yeah, it was Billy's younger brother.
Oh, cool.
He's the founder of the Nashville Songwriters Association. One of him and Eddie Miller started the NSA in Nashville.
Oh, yeah, on Cowboy Hat Records.
And Cowboy Hat. It's what I recorded. Me and Bobby Durham, I'm not a braggart, but me and Bobby Durham's the only artists that ever recorded on Buddy's label, the Cowboy Hat Records.
Wow.
And I had the Letter Dance, and the B-side was Hanging On, the Vern Gosdin song.
Oh,
that
that's cool.
Buddy he wrote. Hanging On. Him and Ira Allen were writers on Hanging On.
That's cool. I couldn't find that one. I could only find the A side. Someone posted it online on YouTube, but I never could find the B side. So that's cool. I'll have to try to track it down.
Hanging On was the B side on that one. Yeah.
So how did that I Had to Let Her Dance do? How did that record do?
Still playing out there somewhere. You know, every now and then somebody tell me they'd seen it or listened to it. Good song. I done it today at the here at the Rasmussen Senior Citizens. I went over there and sat in today with Country George and his band, and we done Hanging On today.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about your third record then, right there.
I'm a truck driving, pool shooting son of a gun with Sing Barn to Lose.
Yeah.
Which I'm having a whole lot of blessings over now. Soda Crackers, a group out of Bakersfield, they just done it on their album. It's on the A side, it was third song. And they've done I'm a truck driving, pool shooting son of a gun. And Devyn Brinsfield, another upcoming singer here, he's cut it.
Yeah.
And I've had several people cutting that song. But a little lady here called Shontice Marie, she done Sing Born to Lose. And that thrilled my soul because that's the first female artist to do any of my songs was Shontice. And she's had a lot of luck with that song here in Bakersfield.
That's so great. I'm a truck driving, pool shooting son of a gun is kind of like your signature song, I think.
Do you? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I saw your shirt in the Kern County Museum.
Okay.
And it has a pool table on the back.
You know, my wife done all that work. She nuded that thing out for my one-nighter at the Sahara in Las Vegas.
Wow, that's awesome.
She put that together for me that they've got over there. I had no idea when I signed it off to them that it would be out there now. I figured after I was long gone, then they'd probably bring some of my stuff out, but I got blessed again.
Yeah,
they got it over there for people to see now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there in the glass case at the Bakersfield Sound exhibit at the Kern County Museum.
With Ronnie Sessions.
Yeah.
Me and Ronnie shared that corner booth down there, yeah.
And look for the Trouts sign, and that's where the exhibit is.
Yeah.
And I have heard a lot of people say that you're a sharp dresser.
Well, thank you. Well, I'm glad to hear that. That makes me feel good.
Oh, I had a random question about earlier. I was looking in the copyright library, and it said that there was a song called Rack 'Em Up written by Sonny Anglin and Bobby Cunningham. What song is that?
It was Rack 'Em Up. That's the song that caused Fabor to sign me.
Oh.
And they never did cut it. They put Mrs. Olsen out instead. But that's how I got on it. They heard, my producer heard me before he signed me. And I sung it for him, and we was going to cut it and never did really get around to cutting Rack 'Em Up. I have several people that's been interested in cutting it since. Leo Eifert was just down here, and he told me his son was talking about cutting it.
That's cool.
He's a picker. Al Bruno taught him guitar, so you know he's a good picker.
Wow.
But he was talking about doing it, but nobody's done Rack 'Em Up. But that's the one that got me introduced into the business.
Yeah, like your audition song.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That was a 72 song too, huh?
72, yep.
Yeah. Bobby Cunningham, old boy from Tennessee, Waverly, Tennessee.
So for Truck Driving, Pool Shooting, Son of a Gun, you wrote that with Jerry Osborne again, right? Just like...
We wrote that, Lord, that was back in 72, I'd say, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So you wrote it at the same time you wrote the other one, but you saved the song till later.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you had a kind of a choir backup vocals in that song too, right?
Oh, yeah.
What does the Bakersfield sound, like what is the definition of Bakersfield sound to you?
Very rewarding spot in my life as a singer, to be from Bakersfield and to be put into the sound over a song. It's really amazing to me how songs can lead you along the road to stardom and new things in your life. What a tune can do for a man if he hangs in there long enough. You know, but I've had a lot of help along the road. I had a lot of people that admired me and through it all, it has pushed for me. The day I got opened up the Bakersfield Sound over there, that's the day I met the Soda Crackers. They played out there. And I went inside and seen my suit around that I'd signed away. That was the beginning of, glory in music for me, because I never done no, even though I was close to being on major labels a couple of times along the road, I never did reach that plateau. But all these here wondering things has happened to me since. It's covered it,
Yeah.
I'm very happy. I'm a happy guy in Bakersfield, yeah.
Yeah, and you're still out there singing constantly. I have seen you multiple times at the Rustic Rail singing, and I know you're always singing, and so it's so cool to see you still playing music.
Well, thank you, AJ. That makes me want to do it more.
Oh, I should give you this. Here's another ad I found. This is an ad I saw for I'm a Truck Driving, Pool Shooting, Son of a Gun.
On the Cougar Records, yeah. This is out of Billboard? Or
It should say on the top. I can't remember.
Country Nashville Scene, Hot Country LPs.
Yeah, I think it might be Billboard again.
Yeah, Gene Watson and there's old Sonny right below there on the Cougar Records. I appreciate these. I'll put them in my keepsake book.
For sure.
Yes, sir. That's where they go.
So what did you do after Truck Driving came out?
Done quite a few songs I've cut that I never have really got out there yet. They're just now surfacing. Some of this stuff that they're having local artists do my stuff 40-something years later. Now, that was in 43 years ago.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
And it's amazing how songs go. Like Sing Barn to Lose.
Yeah.
Shontice Marie, she's only 39, and I done that song, 43 years ago? So the song's older than her.
Wow.
But she loved the song and done a good cover on it. I wish you could hear her sing that song.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up. Yeah. So, we didn't talk about Red Simpson.
Oh,
we should talk about Red Simpson. We can't miss Red
Lord,
Simpson.
How much time do we have to talk about Rojo, man? I sung Truck Driving Man for him today over at the Rasmussens.
Wow.
Yeah, I do that song a lot of times, and it's always it's my thank you, Red, for being my mentor. I to let people know he took me when he had Hello, I'm a Truck.
Yeah.
Out, he took me on the road with him several times, and exposed me to his crowds. San Francisco, I went all the way through Oregon. First time I went to the state of Oregon, I was with Red Simpson, and we was going through the snow in Ashland. and we was making tracks on the inside lane, coming into Ashland, Oregon.
Wow.
With Red Simpson, me and him, and he took me out there and exposed me to his crowds.
That's good.
Oh yeah, he was a mentor. And Red was a real rider, man. He rode every day. He's like Buddy Mize. There wasn't a day go by he wasn't writing on something. The real riders, that's the way. I'm a halfway rider, because I just ride it once in a while or something hit me.
Yeah.
But them guys, they rode every day. Yeah. But I was blessed to be around them. And when I went to school with Buddy Mize and Dallas Frazier at East High.
Wow.
A lot of people didn't know that. They put it in the paper here a while back. Did you know that Sonny Anglin went to school with East Bakersfield High School with Dallas Frazier and Buddy Mize? We'd meet in the mornings, and then all of a sudden he disappeared for a while. And I said, hey, where'd Dallas go? Some of the guys said, I've seen Dallas lately. He said, oh, man, Ferlin Husky took him down to L.A., said he's singing down there on some kind of big shows. I said, you're kidding. I didn't know Dallas had even wrote Alley Oop. He never said nothing about it,
That's funny.
So like I said, I've to know these guys long. It's like I was meant to be in this business.
Yeah.
This is some of the people I've met, yeah. But of my hero, if I had a hero, I want all of them in the business. I hate to leave anybody out, but I'd say it was Dorsey Burnett. He was my brother. I loved Dorsey, and I knew he loved me. A lot of people would see me around the Palomino, walking around Dorsey, he had an arm around me, around my neck. Everybody thought I was Sonny Burnett. Huh? But Dorsey was my inspiration. I admired Dorsey Burnett.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, as a brother, big brother. Yeah, he was quite a guy, man. He left here. He was 46. We don't know when a number's gonna come, but I could share with old Dorsey now that I made it to 87. I'm not bragging, because the Lord knows what my number is. If I make it to May the 21st, I'll be 88. Now I'm doing gospel. My whole new turn is this new stuff I've done. You got a copy? Did you get a copy?
No, I don't. But I did read about it, right? Last year, you cut an album in Nashville, right?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I'll give you a couple copies.
Oh, thank you.
I got a couple copies for you out there in the car. Yeah, I carry a little box around with me. Everybody said, well, Sonny, how much owe you for this? I said, this is on Jesus and me. That's what I tell them. My little 4 songs, best songs I ever done, I believe, on recording. All of the others mean everything in the world, from Mrs. Olsen to name it. But doing my first gospel and it turning out like little Eugene Moles. I met him when he was 7 years old over here a couple blocks away. And I not knowing that someday 60 years later, he'd be recording me. I didn't know I'd even be recording then. When I was at his dad's house, and his dad introduced me to him that day. He was 7 years old. And look at him now in Nashville. His circles, everybody loves Eugene.
Yeah.
He's just a sweet little guy, man. He's one of them sweet guys, yeah. And we need more of them in the business.
Yeah, he's a great guitarist himself. Incredible.
Scary.
And his dad was a legend here too.
He's a big Gene. He played with Noki Edwards and the Ventures.
Yeah, that's cool. Not very many people get to record an album, and especially, keep recording albums, throughout the years.
Well, I'm going back. It looks like in June, and I haven't finished up an album, but we're working on it. It might take until Christmas, but I want to make it right, what have you.
Do you have your top 3 favorite concerts that you played?
Yeah, I'd say Fox and the Nile here in Bakersfield. the Nile is where I stood in line at the Nile Theater to watch James Dean. And Rebel Without a Cause and all that was done. And the first time I was on stage there, the feeling I had of standing in line out front, and here I am, I'm on stage performing years later.
Yeah.
That's high. That was high at the Nile. But I'd say the Fox and another one. When I played out in 1970, I went to Kern Park, where they used to have a lot of Oklahoma Days and what have you, Buck and all. God, I went out there and they're trying to get money raised for the lights for the Junior Baseball Association, so they could play ball at night.
Cool.
And I put Ben Hal LaFoon. He was a local celebrity, and good. So I went and co-hosted with him out at Kern Park. And instead of the 3,000 dinners they had set up, well, they had to call Rudnick Beef Company and get another 2,000. Well, 5,000 people showed up out there for a steak dinner, and they built the lights. That's one of my honored things.
That's
I
a
worked.
good memory.
Yeah, well, of course, when I see a ball game over by Sam Lynn Ballpark anymore, and them lights on, brother, baby, I got a light out there. That's the way I feel about it.
That's cool.
It was from the heart done. See, I played JBA here for 2 years, Oak Lane Shopping Center, when I was in high school. And when they took my number, I was playing for East Bakersfield Blades. I got pulled from the team because of my grades. Well, I joined the Navy. I quit school and joined the Navy. Then you could join the service if you was in your senior year. So
Oh yeah.
now you got to have a high school diploma to get in the Marines or the Navy and what have you. So
Yeah.
I slid through another one, but it was highs. I'm on a roll now. Yeah.
Yeah.
AJ, yeah, I am. So blessed, buddy. Like having you here today. Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to be here. Let's say, what about the top 3 concerts that you got to go to see other people play?
I'd say the one was Buck, and that's when Bobby Durham was opening his shows at Long Beach Arena. That's in '63. I seen George Jones, and I worked a lot of stuff with Al. I don't know if you know who Al Hendricks was, but
No, I don't.
he played with the GoDaddies. In their day, there's a band, and they've done rock. They were
Cool.
at the barn over here, which is the Moose Club now on Stein. I've got pictures up here on the wall. It was Al Hendricks and the band. Played with some good people, Smiley Wilson, the Bakersfield Brass, and a big shopping center in Los Angeles. Yeah, Eastland Shopping Center, I believe it was that day. Got to play a big one with Memories that you have thing. I think that was one of my higher gigs because it was a big time deal, and I was one of the stars of the show. And, good memories, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, which they all are. Tell you the truth, AJ, they all mean something. Yeah.
What's the craziest thing you saw happen at one of the concerts or honky tonks?
Probably playing here at home, out Pump Room, out on Edison Highway. I had a fist fight right in front of the stage. And I told him, hey, you know what? You're going to do that stuff. You can't do it here, bud. You guys break it up. I got on the microphone and told him, you want to tear places up, go to Edison out there where the cops would take them a lot longer to get there, but you can't do that stuff where I play. I want a place where grandma can come and have a good time. I was known for standing up for my rights, in them era time. Of course, I was still drinking Jack then too, so I didn't had a low tolerance for ignorance. And I let them know it right over the microphone. I was well known for that. But I didn't tolerate crap in the club because I really meant that. When I worked the club, my name was featuring. I didn't want no. I wanted grandma to have a good time.
That's so nice.
Yeah. And the Lord blessed me. He got me out of it. He stood behind me. Man.
Is there anything we're missing that you wanted to talk about, or that you want people to know?
That I've changed my life through the Lord helped me get to a spot, and I'm so glad where I'm at now. I'd say my turn was a picker here in Bakersfield kept after me sometime, Tommy Hayes. And Tommy Hayes is one of the local all-time old pickers. And Sonny, I seen him at the VFW post on Union. And he said, when you going to go to church with me, Sonny? And I said, Tommy, you asked, this the third time you asked me. I'll tell you what, I'll be there. I'm coming. I don't know if it'll be this Sunday, but I will come. I finally took that Sunday. A couple of Sundays later, I go out to the manor, to the cowboy church over there. It's changed my life. I'm not no saved, devout, dyed in the wool guy that is ready to fly away. But I like Sonny better than I ever did. Being around drinking still yet, but I don't. It gives me that more tolerance to put up with crap that I see what alcohol does and still be around it. You can't break it, you can't knock the bottle and sing to them. So I've had to learn how to be a wiser guy and keep my thoughts to myself and let them check for their own. They see the change in you. If you shine your light, that's all you got to do. Yeah. If they knew you before, and I've always had a good nature with people, and I could say something to some bunch of guys saying, hey, there's ladies here, man. What's language you got, man? I could say something. A lot of people didn't, but I did. And you know what? Not one time did I get skint by some hillbilly because I said something about their language. Yeah, I was always protected. Somebody had their hand on me. And I think I know who it was now. It's been a blessing since I've done this little gospel CD with Gene Mose out of Nashville. What a producer. I got the best little producer in the world, man. We're going to do an album by the Christmas.
Oh, a new one. Cool.
Oh, yeah. These 4 songs is going to go on to 8 more. We're going to put a 12-song CD.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Album out, gospel album.
And you're still going to be playing around, right? You told me you're going to keep singing all around town.
I'll play everywhere they want me to come and play. I'll be there at the side door ready to go on, or back room changing clothes. Getting ready for the crowd, please my fans. That's what it's all about.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right. To end off the show, we always we do shout outs. So is there any Bakersfield musicians you want to shout out that you want people that are listening to this episode to listen to check out?
In Bakersfield?
Yeah,
Lord.
Bakersfield musicians.
Kyle Appleton. Have you heard of him?
Oh, yeah.
Kyle Appleton.
I've seen him a few times playing with different groups. He's a great guitarist. He's
a West Coast Gene Mose. He can play anything.
Yeah, he's very good guitarist.
And very good, and a nice guy. Yeah, several of them. Devyn Brinsfield, Shantice Marie, like he said, Jerry Whittington, Oscar's boy. He plays bass, and saxophone. Country George, McGammon. My little buddy Zane Adamo with Soda Crackers. What a new venture in my life to know him and his brother. They have been an uplift to me since I met Soda Crackers. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. Thanks for
Thank
the interview.
you, AJ, for taking time out to give old son a shot here. Yeah, I appreciate this. Let the people know how much I appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah. Without the fan, there'd be no Sonny Anglin. That's the way I feel from my heart and soul. My fans has made me. That's who made me. So I got to keep singing for them.
Yeah.
I can't quit. I'm hooked.
I remember the first time with her by my side. We walked in the spring morning sunshine, and like the dew that lays up on a blade of grass, she lays pretty heavy on my mind. And then in the evenings, warm in her embrace, I ventured to a place you've never been. And in her way of loving me, she's made my life worth living. She warmed my heart like early summer wind. And today's tomorrow's yesterday. Tomorrow's what I'm looking for. And today's tomorrow's yesterday. As sure as winter snow falls, I'll be with her